Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel where we build stuff from scratch. Um, my main medium for that is Swift, but I do other things as well. But today we're sticking with the Swift. Today we're continuing with FQAuth, which is an open source sign-in with Apple server. It's on GitHub, so you can follow along, but we haven't yet reached a 1.0 or any kind of alpha release. We're just still working on an initial branch for now. Now, after our work yesterday, we realized that it's time to get the middleware piece of this project going, because we were working on a sample microservice that's going to use all this. And the sample microservice is going to use the middleware to authenticate these JWTs that FQAuth main server is going to produce. So currently we have the middleware and the server in the same package. When we go to actually publish this, we'll want to split this out. But for now, they're here in the same package, and that's fine. But what would be really cool is to make a separate test target. I think that would help keep them separate. Yeah, so for our first test, we're going to be writing tests. First task, we're going to be writing tests for FQAuth. And hope you all are having a great week. I haven't streamed on Friday in a while, and I definitely am feeling a little tired. So I guess the first test we want to write is, what do we have in here? We have environment variables, we have the session token, and we have middleware. Okay. We can import XCTest. We can add testably import the FQAuth middleware module. Get rid of all that. And this is an XCTest case. So let's see, the first thing that we want to do is I guess let's name it nothing for now. I guess we want to instantiate it and kind of respond to a request and confirm that I guess confirm that we either correctly authenticate or unauthenticate a request. And I guess I'm not sure if Vapor actually has a good method for doing this. They do have test harness for a bunch of other things. And I guess we will have to set up a request, which might mean setting up a tiny little app in the tests, which we can do with Vapor. Okay, that'll be cool. And we can defer to shut down the app. Okay. Okay. Yes, we can define a route. We can wrap our whole app in the middleware, and that's it. Okay, this test will be a little exciting. That's cool. Guess we'll return hello for now, and let's go ahead and import XCTVapor. So then we can say something like app test. Yeah, we can test .get on slash. We can say response dot body. We can assert that this equals hello, I guess, for now. Just to show we have everything set up correctly or incorrectly. Okay, so this is sort of the skeleton of what the test might look like. Let's add this target to our package.swift. And kind of copy, paste, modify. So instead of the server test, this will be the middleware tests. And it will depend on the middleware. And the testing package for Vapor. Okay. That was it, assert equal? Yes. Yeah, so this is a byte buffer. This is a string. Is there like a toString on here? Maybe description, which is a string. All can throw. Okay, we can put a try here. We have a throws here. So let's just see what happens. And I think this error here that it's giving is not a thing. Okay, cool. Yeah, that wasn't a thing. Okay, so we got an error. Yeah, okay, so this description was totally useless. Okay, can I make a string from a byte buffer? Oh, I can. Okay. Let's say that these two are equal. So a byte buffer in Vapor or in Swift NIO it's very similar to the data thing, the data struct. And so we're just creating a string out of the data. Oh, and we got some JSON back. So we got unauthorized, which means that yeah, I guess this worked. So we can test unauthorized. And I guess instead of asserting on the exact response, we can. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and keep that assertion in. That's totally fine. But let's also assert on the status code. XCT assert equal response.status. This will be 403. Oh, I think I can just say unauthorized. Okay. So how are we going to do an authorized test? Let's start to sketch out what it might look like. I'll start by copy pasting this. And this we might want to move into a setup method. Well, anyway, this should be the string hello. And this should be HTTP status OK. This is going to fail, but this is, I think this is the test that we want. Yeah, so it fails in the way we expect. And I'm going to go ahead and move this to a setup method just to make our tests a little bit more focused. Setup with error. We'll have of our app. Say app is this new app. And it'll have this middleware. And we'll have a teardown as well. And that cleans out all of this stuff. Makes our tests a little bit more focused. So I guess to get this to work, we need a pre-signed key that we can use as a fixture, perhaps. Let's see. So how should we provide that key here? So this is all Vapor stuff, but then we can get back into our code. So I guess we need to register a signer, perhaps. Let's close these other tabs. Yes, we can pass in a signer. We can pass in a whole set. Let's see, what's the best way to do this for this test? Like, the server will be providing this set, but that doesn't quite make sense for a test, right? I'm like so tempted to import this from the main app. Which I guess means there might be some shared stuff. And so when there's shared stuff, it's best to copy it into both places and then find later how to dedupe them. So let's start with I guess registering a signer. Just call this file signing for now. I'm not sure what we're going to end up calling it. And I'm not sure if this is in our dependencies. Let me take a look. Oh, it is here. Okay. I kind of wanna copy all this over. And we might make this public, we might not. There we go. So we'll need some identifiers. I don't think we need the Apple developer key here. Yeah, we can remove this as well. I'm looking for auth private key. Where did I define that? Yeah, I'm not sure if I need the public key. I'm going to delete it for now. Always add it back in if needed. Yeah, so this was helper stuff that we wrote in FQAuth. And then there's this envar exist. Thus, it's in fact the only envar we have. So if I want to pass in a key here, see, I don't have. Oh, I can just call this use auth private. Now that'll grab it from the environment, and for a test, perhaps we don't want that. Perhaps we want to just specify something directly. Okay, so here's the key ID. Here's the key that is getting from the environment as a data. Yeah, so let's kind of backtrack a little bit there. What do I have in my paste buffer? Use, okay. Then I need to make this key. Yeah, make it from a data. Okay, this is what I need to do. This work. Data, EA data equals data. Just see if this will get us to compile. All can throw, but it's also saying it's can compile. You're confusing me. Xcode. What happens if I just run this class build failed? Not find in scope. Oh, I guess I need to import AWT here in the test as well. This is neat. We're making like a little tiny test app right here in a setup method. Yeah, so let's generate one for the sake of a test. And I believe I have that I have a comment for how to do that, I believe. Yes. Let's generate JWT key. Let's go ahead and run it. Push, of course, is a little helper to run scripts associated with your Swift project, or any project really. It's a little wrapper around a couple other little libraries that I wrote. This can be maybe this doesn't need to be static. But this does need to be a data, so we can say private key dot and in fact, I think I'll actually move this up here because I'm force unwrapping it. I think it makes sense to put the force unwrap right next to it so you can see without thinking that yes, this is definitely a string that can easily conform to data as UTF-8. Now do I need to base decode this? Oh, okay, there's this version. That's what I should have done. Instead of converting it to data there, I should convert to data like this. Yes, we'll keep the force unwrap there. Okay, so now we have the first part of our middleware. We have a key loaded that it can use. So now the request needs the appropriate HTTP headers. And the headers get passed in here. Now, of course, this is not the right token. We need to generate a token that we can use in the test. And what's a good way to do that? Because the signing happens only on the server. So here in this package, we don't have access to that. So let's see, how can we use the code in the server to sign something? I guess it only needs to be one time. Like we can have a let authorized token be some kind of string. Well, actually, this this might not work too far in the future because, of course, these have an expiration date. So I guess for the sake of the test, we do need to sign something here. And maybe, I was talking about splitting out the middleware into its own package for the sake of publishing, and I still think that's a good idea. But what if the tests stayed in the server on the server side, in the server package, because then we would have access to the signing code, so we could sign something. Well, I guess the signing is right here, right? Am I getting a little too far ahead of myself? I guess the middleware can sign something. It has the private key. Let's see. Do it like 10 minutes in the future, perhaps. Change this to a var. String interpolation produces a debug description. It's force unwrapped though, so it's kind of surprised we have to do this again here, but that's okay. Okay, we're still getting unauthorized. Is this is this the wrong name for the authorization header? Let's Google it real quick. You're not going to show an example. Yes, I have this part correct. So let's see. I guess we can have a test around this authorized token. Is valid. let it decode it, I guess. And I guess we can extract this so we can use it for the sake of testing. Yeah, that passed. So we do have a valid token. And if we force it to fail, I guess. Okay. Wanted to do a sanity check. Oh, is it because I don't need the colon here? What do the headers look like? Now we pass the token in. Is that incorrect? Let's see. Let's try to put a breakpoint somewhere else. Let's close all these. Let's see. Do we hit this breakpoint? We do hit here. And if we run this ourselves, I guess it doesn't throw, so I guess that's a success. Hit play, we still get a failure. So if we put a breakpoint perhaps in the middleware, so this is the default. Let's see. Does this take any? Does this take any additional parameters? I can pass in the identifier. Okay, let's run the whole file. We're getting this here. So what's this? You get nil. Why you get a nil? Here's the headers. Authorization bearer. Set that length to 0, that's fine. Oh. I think this has to do with how Vapor does its authorization. So let's head over to the middleware. Here's an instance of the supplied type. The type has been authenticated. Yeah, let's check the Vapor documentation real quick there. I remember they like split this out somewhat in a surprising way. Is it under basics? No. Is it under advanced? No. Is it under security authentication? Oh, so if they define a bearer authenticator. Okay. Let's copy this, paste. I'm not sure what this type alias is. We will change the name of this in a hot minute. Bearer.token equals. Oh, okay. So I think I have to do request.jwt.verify bearer.token as this thing. And what's the problem here? Call can throw. So I guess we need a do catch here. And if we throw an exception, we will fail the event loop. Oh, we need to return here. And then, yeah, so this is the guard middleware. This is the authenticator. How does Vapor recommend I chain them together? I know that's a bad name. We'll change it. Oh, so we need there's no way to add multiple. Okay. Let's see if this helps at all. Failed. Okay. Failure. Oh, we're getting not found. That's surprising. Hmm. What am I missing? Guess we could try making it explicit. And here I think we can do multiple. Let's see. Okay, let's run this file again. Oh, I'm missing some curly braces somewhere. Oh, here we go. We're getting a not found for slash. That's surprising. I would have expected an unauthorized. We're getting it for both of them. let's look at the documentation. Let's change the name of the route off of slash to maybe hello. Oh, it must be must be something about the slash there. Okay, we passed. That's great. If we remove this one, we get a failure for unauthorized. Still got a 200. Okay, that's interesting. So I actually want to duplicate this into 2 tests. I'm going to say unauthorized, no header, unauthorized, malform JWT. Oh, come on. I guess that's fine. I mean, I guess we want to just show that, like, if the key doesn't match, then it won't work. Let's see. Let's go to jwt.io. Let's paste this in. Signature verified. Error looks like. What does it say? Not encoded correctly using base64 URL. And then if we paste in our. Oh, wait, that's the whole key. Okay, this goes here. And our payload data will be invalid signature. Why is it not updating? What algorithm was it? ES512. Okay, so then if we paste in our key again, Okay, invalid signature. For JWK string format. I guess this is base64 encoded, so this is okay. So this is not the right format. See if we PB paste and base64. Is it big D or little d? See if we can paste this in. Oh, it's the public key and the private key. Okay, so how do I get the public key out of there? That part? Oh, come on, give me an example. Yes, 512. Begin public key, begin private key. Let's see, so let's say unauthorized token. Just want to make sure we have like an actual token in there. Not just gibberish. Enter verification failed. Okay, cool. Fantastic. Okay, let's commit this and then figure out what to do next. Test for middleware. Yeah, so we generated fixtures. Let's see, so there's a few cleanup tasks I can think of right off the bat. We have to do, I guess, both of these for it to work. And I guess it would be nice to do something with the user ID to show that it came out. Test using data from the JWT. Rename authenticator. Yeah, so let's say if we can use the data from the JWT. Oh yeah, and we did test the guard. request.auth.get. Where's our token type? Here it is. And I think we can say, we want to say require here. Yeah, because this just returns it optionally. I guess it should never get here if we correctly have our auth set up. Let's look at the example in the documentation again. Oh, so is this, does this exist already? And is this middleware kind of unnecessary? What's the problem here now? Extra trailing closure. Well, let's run this. Did it run? I didn't see anything change. Okay. Let's see, and if we remove this throwing, yeah, throw something slightly different. So yeah, I guess we do want to keep that in there. Oh, I guess which means we want to make our own guard middleware. Yeah, because look how long this is. Like, we don't want people to have to type all this in. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the community. Yeah, so nobody's using this anymore. Yeah, so I guess this will be the authenticator. Update the file name. Someone in chat is saying hello, just a UX designer, front-end dev looking to learn more mobile dev stuff. Right on, welcome to the channel. I'm working on an open source signing with Apple server using Swift. Swift on the server side Swift. And I want to package up this little bit here. These are all stuff we wrote as to make it easy for people to use this. Because right now, the way Vapor has it set up is that you have to pass in 2 of these things, and that's kind of a mouthful to ask potential users of this library to type into their apps. So I think we have some better names, but I guess what we want to do is, I guess the task is, can we simplify and then this guard thing, this comes pre-built. And I'm not sure if I should still let people, if I should offer a default or not. We did a few renames here, so I do want to commit rename middleware, and we'll push that up. This is all open source on GitHub. Yeah, maybe we need to sort of exercise it a little more to get a better idea of what we need to do. So I guess focusing on, can we use the data from the JWT, and maybe that will give us an insight on how we can simplify its usage. If we look at the request, the auth part of the request, and say require the token, maybe we'll return the just return the user ID back out, and we'll say this returns a string. Let's see, does this build? Oh, and we'll say the UUID string. And let's run the whole file. Test failed. That's expected. Okay, so it worked. So let's save that so we have like a test that is repeatable. You don't need to generate a UUID every time you run the test. And what's the error here? Oh, I have it, I have too many. There we go. Now this file should be passing. Build failed, must be unwrapped. Let's force unwrap it. We can see that it's a UUID right here. The force unwrapping is fine, especially we're in a test. Unexpectedly found nil, really? Let's copy paste it again. Does it end with BD? It does. Let's run it again. So what's the format of the UUID string? String representation of the UUID. Yeah, that's what I had. Oh, they're two different UUIDs. I see. Must have had a typo somewhere. Let's run this one again. That succeeded. Great. Okay, so we are able to get stuff out of the token and use it in our test. Since we completed a tiny task, let's go ahead and commit that. Push it up to GitHub. Again, this is open source. So how can we simplify the usage here? So we have our token type, which is a JWT. And because it's authenticatable, Vapor gives us a guard middleware. Now we created our own authenticator type, and all it does is verify the bearer token and then log that in. Yeah, perhaps we can make a middleware that does this, like all together. Kind of an all-in-one. This will inherit from middleware. So we'll import Vapor. We'll take the autocomplete. So now we can basically apply the other two that we had just used. And the order of that is, see, let's copy this in. Let's see, request dot, or does this have a method on it? Yeah, authenticate request, and then what does that return? That's an event loop future, so we can flat map. Oh, thank you so much for following, Exodus. Welcome to the community. Something like that. Does this build? Oh, we need to I mean, we could just do what the inside of this is doing. I don't think we need to actually all out to this. I mean, it just looks it looks easier to read, in my opinion, to actually do it that way anyway. Exodus 3 says, just having a look at my future career. Right on, dude. Yeah, programming's fun. And this will be an report of unauthorized. Oh, build succeeded. Let's see, so this one wants to be public. Maybe the other two don't need to be public. They're but I guess we can leave them as available for people to use if they want. I guess also giving too many options can be overwhelming for people just trying to learn a new library. So maybe we shouldn't make them public. Yeah, so all this now becomes FQAuth middleware. Kind of coming back full circle to where we were earlier. And I wish we could do something about this as well. Yeah, so everything's passing. That's fantastic. Yeah, can we make this simpler to use? What if we put an extension on request to get the session token? Something like, let's see. Request dot, I don't know what we're going to call it yet. Let's call it ARST for now. So we'll open up request. And like I said, we'll call it ARST for now. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to call it. But it wants to do something like this. So I guess this would be self, and we don't have any other lines. It's an implied return. And maybe this is a get. But maybe we could call this FQAuth session token. Exodus in the chat says, the courses I have to take kind of scare me though. Math has never been my best friend, but I'm willing to put in the work for this. It'll be worth it. Yeah, I guess for me, I just get so much joy out of like building something. I get a huge dopamine rush from like seeing tests pass. I have a hard time looking into technology that I'm not interested in. And I'm only interested in technology that is kind of in line with what I'm building. Like if I have something I want to make, then I'll learn everything I need to make that to work. Like even for this project, I don't know much about JWTs. I haven't done auth in like forever in my professional career. But I really want to make an open source signing with Apple Server for my projects. And so I'm learning everything I can about it. Yeah, people will say, oh, I have a contract for this thing. I'm like, well, I don't know that. I could learn it, but they don't want to pay me to learn it. So I could learn it on my own time. But yeah, that's just not kind of how my motivation works. I have to be like interested in it for me to want to learn it. This is kind of a long name for this variable name. If we just say session token though, that's too vague. That could be anything. If I just say FQAuth, that's kind of weird too. Maybe we just say FQ session token. I'm not completely happy with that, but that's better than the other two options we came up with. So we know it's at least better than two other things. So then coming back to our test, instead of saying all this, I guess we might be able to say something like rec.fq session token. Yeah, and if we were to force unwrap it, what would happen? We have I think a decent enough test suite to exercise this. Theoretically, it should never get there because we're guarding here. Okay, so now if we use the authenticator directly, without the full package, yeah, then there's a problem. Yeah, so I guess that works. It doesn't feel exactly great. I mean, I guess this is the best I can do with the way that Vapor's authentication works, perhaps. And I guess as we get more people to try this out, we'll get inspired on how we can make it even more simple, perhaps. Okay, so this is, I guess, the sample usage and the test pass. So I think that's great. I think that's a good place to check this checkbox off. And as we turn our attention back to the sample microservice that's supposed to be using this, perhaps we'll have even further insight. So let's go ahead and this public. This is not public. This is public. Yeah, should this be public or not? If we make it public, people will think that they need to use this. It might be confusing. We'll have to have, I guess, good documentation to explain our thought process. Hopefully people can see that this is these two combined. Because I don't really know the use case of using the authenticator without not throwing an error. I guess it allows the server to choose what to do if you're not logged in. So I think we should offer it since Vapor offers it. This is basically an extension on Vapor. We kind of want to stay in their philosophy for the most part. For the most part, sometimes we'll add our own flair, but for something like this, oh, this needs to be public as well. Public. Cool. So yeah, let's commit this. Simplify usage. Offer a full package middleware. Offer a convenience getter on request. We can check that off and turn our attention back to the sample microservice. And that is, we have that open already over here. And this is where we ended the stream yesterday. We were in the middle of writing a test and we got a little stuck. We noticed that we were testing the middleware and our brain was super tired at the end of the stream yesterday. So we kind of stopped kind of mid-sentence almost. Today we started a little bit more fresh. We got this, we tested, we were actually testing, we tested the middleware. We have tests for the middleware. Now it's time to exercise it in the microservice. So let's just go ahead and run on this test and see where we're at and drink some water. Yeah, now let's make sure we have it set up. Did we configure signing? We did not configure signing. So for starters, we got to do that. Yes, we have it as an environment variable. Maybe we want to like offer this as a configuration function in the middleware, like, and have this set up signing, set up the middleware. Well, I think the middleware kind of might be on a per route basis for whoever is using this. I'm not sure if we want to set up the middleware. What am I saying? I don't know if we want to set up the middleware like for someone. Maybe this is too broad. So for now, let's stay on course. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. We'll add another file for configure signing. And we'll open up application and add the function right there. And we'll have to import Vapor because that's where application lives. And then in our top level configure command, we will configure signing. Now we can kind of steal this from the code we just wrote in the middleware test. Perhaps. Actually, maybe not. Okay, yeah, this is here. Okay, let's just make this, wait, do we want to make this public? Because people might have their own keys they want to use. And so this is, I guess, forcing it to come from a private key. And you know, we can always make this more generic later. The first step is always to get it to work and then take it from there. So going back to the middleware, we want to say self dot what was the method called? It was called use auth private. And that should give me an error because that is private over here. So now that we made it public, we have to commit and push it up. Like with tower. Okay, coming back to Xcode, coming back to the microservice. Let's resolve package versions. Hopefully this will get the latest version, because we're just using the initial branch here. So this should work. Let's see, Command B, did it work? Not quite yet. Let's try update to latest package versions instead. Okay, so now it's updating. It's updating everything. We just really needed it to update that one. Oh, I guess we could have done it directly. Okay. I guess we'll know that for next time. So now if we command B to build. Oh, do we need to import FQAuth middleware? Yes. Oh wait, we still have this error. So you know it's there, you can see it there. Oh, this is on signers. Oh, okay. So self.jwt.signers.use auth private. Okay. So now heading back to the tests. Yeah, it tries to load the auth key from the environment and it's not there. So yeah, let's go ahead and generate a key. And again, there's a script included to generate a key. All you got to do is run it from your command line. And I guess because it's the sample microservice, we should put it inside of a the .env file. Let's open up Nova since that lets us see all the files that are there. Let's look at the env testing, and this will be the auth private key. And I predict this name will change. Sure how far in the future. So now that key is there, if I run this test again, we should at least get a different error. We got unauthorized. Yeah, because this token doesn't actually exist. So we need to, I guess, create a token to use. This is kind of weird. We're gonna create a payload right in the same test that we're gonna decode with it. I guess that's not so weird. That's just a regular test, but as far as security goes, it feels funny. So this is a FQAuth session token. And this doesn't have a public initializer. I guess I should add that in. Oh, which means I have to do it back in the middleware project. Extension on this thing. And let's add the default initializer. Wait, if I do it here, will it give me an autocomplete? Okay. Yeah, there's only 2 fields. Is this right? Yeah, this is okay. So you have to commit this, push it up, and then we'll update the package back in the microservice that's using this. You know what we could do is have this only for only in debug. Maybe that's too much. Anyway, coming back to the microservice, let's update that one package. So we discovered we don't have to update everything. FQAuth update package. Okay, the package updated. Let's try to run this test again. Cool. So let's see. I guess we'll make a user ID. And we'll make an expiration claim. Have it expire in, what's that, 10 minutes? And not find expiration claim in scope. I say .init. Or we can add a try, no problem, Xcode. Now it says I'm missing a expected close paren in scope. Oh, it's actually from the previous line. Wow, that's long. Guess we can extract this to make this look a little bit easier to read. And I guess this will be the token string, I guess? Or signed token? That's better. Or even just the JWT. I guess that's best. And then we don't need that fixtures token anymore, so we can delete that whole file. And we'll build and run. We got unauthorized. It's a little surprising we just created it here. So might the problem be? Oh yeah, so this leads to, it is using the middleware. And this is the, oh, it's because okay. Yeah, that's some old code. And I think now we'll be passing. Let's go ahead and run it. Initializer is inaccessible due to internal protection level. Oh, okay. Well, let's make it public then. So let's hop back over to the middleware. Give it a public initializer. Which means we have to commit and push it back up. Public init for middleware. So let's try to oh, we have to tap back to the microservice. We have to update that package. Update package. Updating package. It's updating some other stuff too, even though I only clicked update on one. Looks like it didn't update everything though, so that's nice. And let's run that class. Well, it succeeded, but we still got a failure. And we're still unauthorized. Interesting. So where is oh, I misspelled this for one. It's supposed to be authorization. Authorization. Is that gonna be enough to fix it? Let's see. We don't need to think about it. We can ask the computer. 200 OK is not equal to 204 no content. And that's actually expected. That's the expected wait a minute. So why is it doing a 200? I guess we didn't. Let's take a look. Oh, because we didn't actually implement anything. Okay, so we have a correctly failing test. That's what's going on. Okay. What's going on is we have a correctly failing test. Yeah, so this is the get, I guess. Just to get, so for this this microservice, we're just gonna have it be like you just get a random number. It's not supposed to be that interesting. We just want to show that you're getting verified content from the server, and I figured that a stored random number would be a good way to exercise the middleware. Yeah, so no user. So user not existing yet. So if you try to get it and you haven't generated a random number yet, then we'll return this no content status code. So now we have to implement something. Let's head on over to our controller. And let's write these things. Let's make a new file for this, because this file is going to get super large. That's how I like to write my controllers in Vapor. Random string controller dot get, I guess. Import Vapor, and we'll import FQAuth middleware. We'll open up our controller. And I guess this needs to be a, no, I think we can do a string, and I think we can do throws. And it'll take a request. But just to make it pass, we'll return the empty string. Come back here to the controller. We'll tell this to use use self.get. And we can stub out the regenerate method as well. And we can copy, paste, modify. Here we will use self.new on the request. Yeah, so the motivation for this is the main controller file just has the routes that this controller supports. And then we have two files that, they might get pretty long. We can see exactly where that method is. So right now we're working on get. So we can say we'll get the token, and because we've guarded the middleware, we can force unwrap here. Still freaks me out a little bit though, right? And then we can check the database. And what do we want to check in the database? Do we have a model yet for these things? I just execute query on output. I don't want any of those. So there is a simple query. Let's try that. Oh, it's not available to us. No. Do I want to use Fluent here? I guess it'll be a good example to show that. We can just stick it here for now. And I say for now, and we're going to need to import Fluent and all that. So let's move it to its own file. Random string model. Bring this over. And perhaps we should change the name of this folder. It's more than just the controller now. We'll import Fluent. ID value type is a UUID. Schema is called it random underscore strings, I believe. We can check our migration. Yes, random underscore strings. Let's see. Got a little bit lost. Xcode itself got a little bit lost. It lost these files. Let's go ahead and close Xcode and open it up again. And we're beach balling. Okay, I found our files. Thanks. Let's see. So we have an @ID value. No, is it @ID? And then we have two other fields. We have the user ID, which is a UUID, and this is a field. And the other thing we have on here was, we also had created at and all that. This was a date and field key. I just use a string here because it's created at with underscores. Has no initializers. Okay. Okay, we'll hold off on that because we want our other fields in here as well. We have updated at. And then, of course, the last thing we have is the actual random number. What did we name that? We named it random string. Okay. And this is a string. Well, it's exceeded. That's interesting. So we didn't need to provide an initializer. And I think we can comment out this line. Think the compiler can figure it out? Yes, it can. Let's go ahead and delete it. Cool, so now that we have a model, I didn't mean to write this here yet. It's going to be in the other file. All good though, we'll just bring it back over to where we were. So we'll say something like random string model dot find. I think it's query on, yeah, query on the database. And then we can filter, what is it? Filter, is it $? Is it user ID? Dot equal to user ID. Let's see, let's make this a little bit easier to read by formatting a little bit. Require that UUID conform to queryable property. I think we just need to import something. There's no way that's there's no way that's true. Let's import Fluent Postgres driver. I really don't believe you. The more likely case is that I have a syntax error than UUID not conforming to queryable property. Let's try importing FluentKit. Yeah, there we go. Now we have a different error. And I think we can unimport the Postgres driver. Nope, now that error is back. I guess I need both. No, it's still failing. Let's see, let's try maybe then put $1 here. Cannot convert. See, I'm not sure which of these imports fixed it. So we kept getting that error until like Xcode sometimes takes a while to catch up, and that can be frustrating. Oh, I guess this needs to be an event loop future of string. Or should we just do async here? Guess we can try it. That maybe equals try await. No async operations occur, no calls to throwing. That's strange. Yeah, this was the event loop future version. Maybe in my package I need to say macOS 12 as the minimum. Just going to be a problem running this on GitHub because for the longest time they've had kind of a shortage of macOS 12 runners. Oh yeah, someone was asking like, why am I still using event loop future in the main server, and that's why, because of the GitHub runner shortage. But it's been a while. It's now a whole new year. Perhaps they have more. They've upgraded their runners. Okay, so if the model is here, then we return model dot random string. Otherwise, we return an abort of no content. It is a lot prettier without all the event loop future stuff. Let's see how our tests feel about it. I succeeded. The tests will love it. And I suppose this should be a constant. So let's go ahead and get a UUID. Oh, I have to say Swift REPL. Okay. Import foundation, uuid.uuid string. Oh, and this needs to be force unwrapped. Okay, so now we need the one where it does find the user. Existing authenticated user returns the random number. So we're going to kind of copy paste it, and then we want to, I guess, create a model and insert it, and then do the query. So let's see. So that's the random string model. Model dot random string equals and then model dot user ID equals user ID. Model dot ID will just be a UUID. Really do not care about this. And then we will model.save into the database, which will be app.database, and we can dot wait on that, which means we try. And here we should get the status of being okay, and we can assert the string that we get, response dot. Is this going to be the string? Let's see if that works. Did this let us get it as a string? Walk and throw, that's fine. Ooh, we got a failure. Type mismatch. Plain text encoding does not support diction. Okay, yeah. I guess this is when it's encoded as an object, but it's just a string. We're trying to make it super simple. So the body is a byte buffer, and we can create a string from the buffer and then compare those. So let's run the whole file, and I think this should pass now. Oh, it doesn't throw, but it did pass. Amazing. Guess we have passing tests for get on the microservice. So let's go ahead and commit all that. Over here, we can check that off. And we can basically do the same test, but for the create. But first, we should rename this. This is random string controller get tests, or retrieve perhaps. Get is fine. And let's go ahead and make a new file. We said this is going to be new. So let's go ahead and steal the top, steal the introduction. This is new. Now one thing I'm noticing, okay, we can take care of that first, Xcode, why not? One thing I'm noticing is that it's kind of a long file name, and the part that's different is very short. And that makes it not stand out as much. So perhaps I need to rename these to be a little bit shorter. Again, there's only going to be like basically 2 tests. Maybe we'll come up with a 3rd or 4th later and we can change it. But right now, like especially when when the sidebar kind of gets squashed, it's good to be able to differentiate files easily. So let's call it get request tests and new request tests. Let's go ahead and update the name of this file, the name of this class inside of this file. And same thing here. And it's basically going to be the same tests from get for new. Like we want to have this unauthorized test. But this is going to be a post. And I think the URL might be a little different. Yeah, let's name it new, I guess. And I think this is the syntax. Well, the test will tell us if we're right or not. One of the nice things about tests. Go ahead and run this file. Yeah, it's like these ghost errors that we fixed a long time ago. Xcode sometimes finds. Okay, so we're getting a not found. So let's go ahead and let's see, Swift run. I don't actually want to run it. I just want to get the routes. I want it to tell me what routes it thinks it has so that I can fix it. And to do that, I need the name of the target. And then I can ask for the routes. Yeah, building on the command line versus an Xcode, it seems to be 2 different cached copies of the build. So it's building everything again just to compute the routes. Is there something else we could do? Guess we could pass in an argument here. Auth private key not set in environment. Oh my goodness. Right. I'm just gonna go ahead and copy it from here, and let's do this off screen real quick. And then let's go ahead and try it again. What is API sample new? Is that what I put in the test? Still getting not found. No, this is the route. Like it's a post to API sample new. So in our test, we have a post API sample new, and we're getting a not found. We put a breakpoint here, I guess. Oh, I actually have to get out of here. Let's commit what we have. Start on new test. And let's yeah, I need to scurry off. I've got a meeting to get to. But thank you so much for hanging out with me and doing some server-side Swift, some open source code. Again, this is all on GitHub. FQDeveloper is my username on GitHub. FQAuth is the server and middleware. And then there's also the sample repos are public as well. If you're curious, you can find out more about me on my website, FQDeveloper.com. Oh yeah, join the Discord if you want to hang out and talk about Swift or making things in general. Do something this weekend that an AI could never do. Desire something, long for something, do something because you want to. An AI could never do that. Celebrate being human. I hope you have a wonderful weekend wherever you are.